Hi everyone, welcome back to yet another project. In this project, you're going to build this phenomenal application using the power of HTML, CSS, and SAS. So this is what you're going to build in this huge project. This is the logo, this is the hero section we have, and this is the our discover button. If you click on this, we'll have this nice expanding navigation bar, and simply over on the navigation, and you will have this nice over effect. You can close that one and you can open that one. You can simply close. This is the first section we have in our application. Let's scroll down, and this is the second section where we are highlighting the technology and the project we have. So you can over effect, nice over effect we have. This is the entire text. This is the button. We have this nice over effect on the images. It's coming up, so looks pretty good. So this is the second component we have. This is the third component where we are highlighting that what are the services we are providing in our application. Looks pretty good. This is the fourth section we have, and this is the card section where we are displaying the technology, and we have this nice over effect. You can over on it, it will turn around, and you can simply click on the button and it will open the pop-up. So you can see nice over effect. So everything is happening here with the help of CSS. So you will learn extensively that how you can use the CSS and SAS model to build an application like this. So this is the second one. This is the discover button we have, and now we have the fifth component. At the background we have this beautiful is going on. Now we have this over effect on the card and the username is popping up. Looks pretty good. Now we have this button, and this is the contact section we have. So user can simply contact. So nice effect. This is the image. They can type their name, they can type their email, and they can select the types. So looks pretty good. They can click on that, and nice radio effect we have, and this button. And this is the our footer component. Nice over effect. So this application seems to be like one page, but there is a lot of things are going on for building this application, and we have to tackle a lot of things, a lot of customization, a lot of modification we have to do in our HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to build an application like this. Let's check the responsiveness. So this is how it's going to look on a mobile device. It's 100% responsive for all the screen sizes. You can check, and looks pretty good. This is the how it will look on a mobile device. This is the different category. This is the cards we have. Looks pretty good, pretty awesome. Everything is absolutely fine and 100% responsive. This is what you're going to build in the couple of hours, and this will teach you every single thing which you have to know about web development and building an application using the power of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And if you come back to the blockchain coder here, the final code is already provided to all of you guys and the starter file. So make sure to come and download the starter file if you want to code along with me, and if you want to take the final code, you can definitely take that, and you can watch this video that how you can just follow the complete tutorial. So once you download the final code, this is what you will get. Make sure to unzip the folder, and you will have this folder. Inside that you will have all the files. Close this one. This is what you will get. So you will have this this is the entire CSS, this is the SAS, this is the tech, this is the HTML, and this is the package.json file. All of this thing is already given in the final code. Now let's try to see what we have here. So if I come here, if we go expand this CSS, so we have the CSS module we have defined here. So the entire code will be written in SAS, and when we'll compress that code, it will generate the CSS file. So that you will learn that how you can use different compressor that can generate this file, because our browser reads CSS, not SAS code. So this is the huge line of code you're going to learn how to build a different architecture. We're going to use custom font modules. This is all the utility classes we have designed for different styling. Looks pretty good. That's pretty huge we have here. Now we have the styles. So this is the different breakpoints we have included for the responsiveness, and this is the prefix we have included. So looks pretty good. All of the things which you can see in this project, we're going to write it from scratch together. Now comes the most important part. You will learn that how you can break down the entire application, the CS model, into different components. So if I open this one, and that you will find all the different components. So we have the abstraction, we'll have the base, we'll have the components, we'll have the layout, we have the pages, and we have the main one. So if you click on this abstraction here, we are using the mixins variable. Again, we won't talk about this extensively, that how you can use mixins and variable. This is all the variable we're going to define, and we're going to use in our application. This is the base. So this is the base CSS SAS we have written for the animation, typography, utility classes. So that's all you will find here. So this one is the animation. This is one, the base CSS. That's all the base CSS code you will find here. This is the typography you will have, and this is the utility classes you will have. So it's there in the base file. This is the component. So we have a different component in our application. You have seen that card component, button component, feature component, form components, pop-up components, and that's what we have defined here. That's we have breaking down into the component file. So this one is the video one. This is the button component we have. That's a pretty huge because we have multiple styles of buttons. This is the card component, looks pretty good. This is the composition component we have. This is the feature box component. This is the form one we have, and this is the pop-up, and this one is the story component. That's a pretty huge file we have. Now we have the layout because we have to design the layout. So this is one is the grade one, this is the header, and this one we have for the navigation. Looks 100% responsive. Okay, now we have the page. So we have only one page. If you have multiple page, you can define that styling right up here. And what we are doing here, we are simply importing all the files we have created from different folders into a main SAS file. So here we have done all the import. So you will learn about the import and export module extensively. Here we have the debug, so which you don't need to worry about that, which I will cover extensively in the video. And here you will find all those images we are using. And here we have all the images which you can simply check from your end, and if you want to replace, you can simply replace that, but make sure to give your exact name. This is the entire HTML which you and I are going to code together. This is the navigation section, this is the header section we have, this is the main section, and this is the footer section we have, and this is the pop-up section. So you're going to find out every single thing. This is the package.json file, and this one is the most important part because these are the configuration you're going to learn, that how you can use the node modules, the node.js in the HTML CSS JavaScript project to compress the CSS file and create your SAS folder, to create a watch script which going to watch the entire code which you are writing in CSS in SAS and convert it into a CSS in lifetime. So that's all the compression we have done here. Start, compile, CSS contacts, prefix, compress, all of things we have done here. And here we have written this TSC file which is not that important. So close this one, and this is what you're going to build. This is what you will build in this huge project. In that you will learn every single thing which you have to know about web development. And after taking this course, you don't need to take any external courses to learn about front-end development. After building this project, you can start building any Web3 applications which we have on the channel, and everything will be make a lot of sense if you don't know about the CSS and HTML, which we're going to cover in the DeFi project. So that's the end. Now we're going to start working on the project. Hope you guys have liked the entire thing that what we have covered, and that will teach you a lot of things. Before I move on this project, I really want to thank Jonathan for teaching me all these methods, all these way of building out applications. So this is the project which we have built when I took his course 4 years ago, and it taught me a lot of things about the CSS, HTML and SAS. So this is the exact project I'm going to build. I'm going to do a little bit modification into it from my end, but this is the entire structure, this is the entire UI part we're going to code together, and I hope you guys will learn a lot. So thanks to Jonathan for teaching me again, because he's the one who taught me about web development at the initial stage. So thanks to him. Let's start coding. Here we are in Visual Code Studio, and let me give you a quick overview of the general settings and the file structure which we have created for this project. So on the right hand side, you can see that I have created a couple of files. So the first one is CSS, SAS, Tech, HTML and TXT. So in the CSS, we have a style.css file. Here we're going to compress our CSS, and I have also created a SAS folder. Inside that we have a couple of folders. So the first folder we have is abstract. Inside that we have a couple of files. So first one is functions, we have nothing, we have mixings, we have variables. So in this we're going to put all the mixing functions, all the variables for this project. Okay, so inside the abstract, in the base file we have this animation, base, typography and utility classes. So in animation we haven't have anything, base empty, typography empty and utility classes. So all the general utility classes, animations, basic general settings, that all we're going to write in this base folder and in this file. Okay, so let's close this one, and here we have another file which is called component. Inside the component I have created a couple of files for videos, button, card, compositions, features, forms, pop-up box, story. So here we haven't have anything. So inside the button, So this is the card, this is the composition, this is the feature box, this is the form, pop-up, and story. So this is our component section. Now let's go to the layout. Inside the layout we have 4 files: footer, grid, header, and navigations. So this is for the layout. Let's go into the page. Inside the page we have created a home file which contain all the stylings, all the layouts of each of the sections. Okay, and let's close that. Let's come to the main one, and here in the main file what I'm doing, I'm importing all the files which we have created in SAS right here in the main file. So as you can see, abstract function, which is coming from abstract folder, base, animations, then component, then we have a layout, then we have a page. So these all files I'm importing into my main, and this one is going to trigger my project. So you don't need to worry about this. This is a debugging for, just totally ignore that. Close this one, close this SAS, and here inside the tag we have all the images for this project which we are using. So this is the one for React, this is the 2, so this is the images. So all the images are provided to you in this folder. Okay, so let's close all these tabs, and let's close this tech folder as well, and SAS folder as well. So here we have a HTML file. I have already created the boilerplate for this project. So here what we have done, we have here we are using Google fonts, Lato, and 100, 300, 400, 700, and 900 width. I have also connected my CSS file with this. So here this style file I have connected in the HTML file, and here we have icons which is coming from the tech folder. Okay, this is the fab icon, and this is the Google fonts. So this is for the HTMLs. So in txt folder I have provided you all the dependency, all the package which we are using in this complete project. So here I have defined all the scripts for watching CSS, for dev server, for start, for compression. So we're going to explore each of this section. Okay, so here you can able to find all these packages. So all you have to do is simply copy this and paste into your package.json file, which I will show you how it is. Cut that. Let's come here, open the terminal. So there are 2 ways to open up your terminal. One, control and backtick, it will open up your terminal, and expand this, let's close it. And the second way is to open it from here. Okay, so this is how we can open up our terminal, and here we can type cls to clear the terminal. So let's create package.json file for this project. In this project we are using SAS for the entire styling. Okay, so let's create package.json file. So type npm init, and here you have to provide the name of the packages. Okay, so you can literally type anything. I'm typing technology. Just hit enter, hit enter, hit enter, hit enter, and hit enter, and hit enter, and just one more time. So here you can see on the right hand side we have a file, package.json file, which contain all the informations about the project. Okay, so here you can see whatever we have defined in our terminal, that's all we are finding right here. Name, technology, version, description, main, index.js, our script, and the author. Okay, so simply close this. So all you have to do is to open up your txt file, and make sure you copy this entire txt, all these packages, and simply remove with this one. So here we have defined all the packages, all the script which we are using in this project. So this is a script tag, and dev server we are using, starter, compilations. So again I'm telling you, make sure you install the same packages, the same versions, all the things which is already provided to you in a starter file, which I will tell you how you can get that. But make sure you have the same thing as I have in my package.json file, then you can able to work the way I'm able to build this website. Okay, so here we have the packages. Simply open up your terminal to install the packages, and type npm install and hit enter. This will install all the dependency, all the packages which we had defined in our package.json file into this project. So just wait, it will take 1 minute because a lot of files get downloaded, so just wait for that. So here we have completed the installation process. Simply clear the terminal, bring this down. So once all the packages get installed, we will have a folder, as you can see. So we have a folder, node modules. Inside this we have a lot of files which you don't need to worry about it. So these are the packages you have installed, it needs to work. Okay, so totally ignore node modules, and you will have this package JSON log file which contain information about the modules which we have installed. Okay, so simply cut this also, you don't need to worry about any of these packages. Okay, so Sometime what happen if you get any kind of error while installing this packages, like maybe you get an error which says that auto fixture is not installing, so in that case you have to install these packages individually. So to install individually, so let me show you how you can do that. Simply cut this, remove this part as well, and let's type here. So let's come here, npm I and the name of the package which you want to install. So npm I, you can type I or you can type install. Come here and simply copy the package name, come here and simply hit enter. It will install the package individually. So once it get installed, you will find that in your packages and files. So just wait. So here you can see that our package is installed successfully. So this is how you can do it. And if you want to uninstall this package, simply type npm uninstall and the package name, and it will uninstall from the project. But we need all these packages to work, okay? So simply copy this entire and simply paste here, remove this comma. So right now we have to install this auto fixer because we have installed that package. So let's install that. So type npm I auto fixer install. It will install the package and it's installing. So the installation process is completed. Now let me show you that how you can grab this starter code. So open up your Chrome browser, type simply Hussain. You will come to this, click on the very first link, and this is the website where I upload all the data, all the project which I have worked on. You can come and you can explore what other things I do. Simply go to this blog section, and here in the blog section you can easily able to find the source code of all the project which I have built, e-commerce template, API. That's all you can able to find. Click here and click on this full stack e-commerce project, and here you will find the code of the starter code for this project. So simply come here and scroll all the way down, and here you will find the starter code and the complete code project. Okay, I would recommend you to code along with me, download the starter code along with me. That will give you a very good understanding that how I'm building this entire design. Okay, so that's what you have to do as a general configurations for installing all the packages. And now let's start coding with the HTML, then we'll move to the SAS and do the styling. So let's start with the HTML first. So before we do that, let me show you that how you can start the project. Okay, so open up your terminal, and here you have to type npm start, hit enter. So this will open your server, and you can able to see all the changes right in your browser. As you can see, it will open up your browser on your local host 8000, and you have noticed one thing that I have written npm start. So just open up your packages and file, and here you can able to find all the packages which I have defined here to starting this project. So as I have written npm start, so as you can see in the script we have a start. So this will open up our dev server, and we can able to see all the changes, all the codes we are writing in our browser, and that's all I have defined here. So once the entire project is get completed and you want to deploy that, then you have to run this command npm build.sas, okay, which I will tell you at the end. So whenever we want to start the server, restart the server, all we have to do is to type npm start, and it will restart the servers right here in the browser. So let's bring this side by side, and let's close this one, and let's make this side by side. Okay, select this one, and let's cut this, and let's come here in the HTML file. And if I type anything in my HTML file, so let's bring this down. So if I take h1 tag, and if I type hello world, and if I save, you can see all the changes will take place right in the browser. So okay, and that's happening because of this. So this script is automatically watching our project file. So let's come here, let's expand this up, and here you can see that this is watching all the changes and converting into this folder. That's how you can start your server. So let me close that and let's start coding with our final HTML code. Okay, so let's bring that down and let's get started with the code, actual coding. So let me remove this code and let's get started. So let's start with the HTML. I'll take a class, and this will call home. Inside that I will take another class, this will call navigation. In that I'll take input with the class navigation checkbox, and this will call checkbox. I'll assign an ID called navi toggle. I'll take a label, it will have a class navigation button. And for navi toggle, in that I'll take an span. It will have a class navigation icon, and in this will provide this HTML. Let's come down. Let's take another div with a class of navigation background, and this will have this HTML tag. Right now it's not visible, but we're going to fix that. Okay, let's come down. Let me give this comment navigation item. So here we're going to define all the navigation. So I'll take a nav with the class of navigation nav, and it will have a UL with a class of navigation list. Inside that I'll take a li with a class of navigation item, and that I'll take anchor with a class of navigation link, and in that we'll take a span 01, and this will call about technology. Simply replicate this 5 times. So this will call future technology, this will call latest technology, this will call blockchain technology, blockchain let's say, and last one is see future. So these are the 5 menus we have. Okay, so we are done with the HTML, and now let's move to the styling. But before we start styling, let's define some global variables like colors and do set some global resets before we move to designing this navigation. Okay, so let's open this and let's go to this variable section. So here inside this we're going to define all the variables which we're going to use throughout this project, like colors and font family. So these are all things we're going to define in this variable sections, and for each of these files, as you can see right now, I have created this all files which I have already explained at the very beginning. So let's start with that. So let me give this comment color, and here I'm going to define all the colors for this project. So color primary. So in SAS this is how we define our variables. So start with $, then we have to give the name of the property, and then we have to assign the value. So this will have a hash 050 8b72. So let me quickly create this variable. I don't want that you watch me typing all this. Okay, so let me quickly create these variables, then we'll back. So here I have created all the variables, color variables. As you can see, the primary color light and dark, then we have a secondary color with light and dark, then we have a tertiary color with light and dark, then gray 1 2, then we have a gray dark, dark 1, dark 2, dark 3, and the white and black. Okay, so these are the color variables which we are using in this project. And I have also declared some font, so font styling, and I have also defined the grid. So the max width of the grid is as you can see 114 RAM, and a gutter is basically nothing but a gap which we're going to add in between the grids. Okay, because this entire project is based on the grid system. So these are the gap which I have already declared, a small on a vertical line, horizontal for 6 and vertical for 8 RAM. So these are the variables which I have declared. So let's come here in the mixing, and we're going to define some variables which we're going to use in this project. That's why I have created a separate file for the mixing. So the things we're going to keep inside this mixing is something like a short functions. In this mixing I'm going to define certain function which we're going to use over and over again, so we don't need to write every time the same code. That's why we are using this mixing, and it's very powerful, and that's making a lot of our work a lot easy when it's come to designing with SAS. Okay, so in mixin this is how we define. First we type mixin, and then we have to define the name of the function. Okay, so right now I'm calling clear fix. So what this function will do, it will clear the element and fix it. Okay, so that's what I'm defining on my after element. So content is going to be empty, display is going to be table, and it will have a clear both. So this is the one function which I'm going to use, and let's create one more. This will call app center, and position is going to be absolute, top is going to be 50%, and left is going to be 50%, and transform translate -50% and -50%. So this code is we going to use a lot, so that's why I converted this entire for code into a function. So all I have to do is to call this function in the element where I want to have this styling, and I don't need to write this all property over and again. So that's why I'm creating this mixing functions. So we'll come back to this later. Okay, so these are the two functions we are creating for time being. So let's come down, let's add the media query. Okay, so media query management breakpoints. So here I'm already defining the breakpoints of the project which we're going to add, so that would be very easy, and that's why I have decided to create it as a mix. Okay, so first it will 0 to 600 pixels for the mobile device, so let's call it phone, and 600 pixels to 900 pixels for the tablet, so let's call it tablet portable, and 900 pixels to 1200 pixels, this will call tablet landscape, and the another one is going to be 1200 to 1800 pixels for the big screen, and is where our normal styles apply. So we're going to keep this thing in mind because we are targeting the element from 1200 to 1800, and we're going to start the styling on these range. Okay, and later down we're going to modify as per the different screen resolutions, and 1800 pixels plus above, this will for the big screens. So these are the breakpoints. Let's format this all for a nice look. Okay, and let's add the breakpoints. So breakpoints and argument, so let's write that. Okay, so the first breakpoint going to have for the phone, and the second one is going to be tab port, the third one is going to be tab land, and the fourth one is going to be big desktop. So these are the 4 breakpoint variables I'm declaring here for the reference purpose. Okay, so now let me show you how we calculate this breakpoint. So calculation of breakpoint, so order base plus typography greater general layout plus grid page layout, and the last one is going to be component. So this is how we're going to combine all these values, and on the base of that we're going to define the breakpoints. Okay, so this is the general order is going to be. So let's format this. Okay, now 1 RAM is equal to 16 pixels. So we all know that 1 RAM is equivalent to 16 pixels, but here what I want to do, I want to convert this 1 RAM into 10 pixels. I'll show you how we can do it. Okay, so before we do that, let's do the work on breakpoints. So simply comment out of this. I just wrote this all so you guys can have the reference, so you guys can know what we are doing and what kind of breakpoints we are setting up here. So let's start writing the breakpoints. And to add that, I'll take this media and I'll set this response. So this is my variable is going to be mixing response. Inside this I will add the breakpoints, and the first breakpoint is going to be if breakpoint is equal to phone. So in that time what I want to do, I want to set the media query only screen, and max width is going to be 37.5 em, and content. So this is the first breakpoint for the mobile device. Now let's set the other device. So this will call for tablet port and media only screen, and max width is going to be 56.25 em, content at the rate content. Second, the third one is going to be breakpoint equal to tab port tab land, and this will have a media only screen. Max width is going to be 75 em, content. Let's come down for the last one. If breakpoint deeply equal to big desktop, in that scenario I want my screen width is going to be media only screen, and max width is going to be 112.5 RAM content. So these are the 4 breakpoints for a different screen resolution. Okay, so let's come and let's write this comment. So this one is for 600 pixels, this one is for let's say 900 pixels, this one is for 12, and this one is for 1800 pixels. 4 breakpoints. Okay, these are the 2 function, and we have a media query for that. So everything's working fine. Let's come here. So we are done with the abstract folder. Inside that we have variables and mixing. So this 2 folder we are done with that right now. We come back later. Okay, now let's move to the base. Okay, inside this we're going to define some global variables. So let's come into the base. Let's zoom a bit. So after, before, and this will have margin 0, padding 0, and box sizing inherit. We'll take HTML, and this defines what 1 RAM is. Okay, as I told you when we were defining the breakpoints in the mixings, here we're going to do the changes and convert 1 RAM equal to 10 pixels, not 16 pixels. Okay, so font size is going to be 62.5%, and this is how we calculate 1 RAM equal to 10 pixels. So will 10 pixels divide by 16 pixels, will get this. Okay, so here what we are doing, here we are dividing 10 pixels with 16 pixels. So whatever the value we'll get, that's what we are assigning to our font size. So this one is for the general font. Okay, let's come down, and I will use that mixing function we have created for the responsive. So this is the variable we have declared in the mixings, and that's what I'm using here. So I'll say include. So when you want to use this function, this is how you denote it, @include, and then you have to give the name of the function. So we have created 3 function: app centers, response, and clear fix. So we are using media query, okay, for that. So response, it's respond, and this one is on tablet land. I want the font size is going to be 56.25, and for the tablet port it's going to be 50%, and for the desktop it will have a, let's say, font size 75%. So as you can see right now it's looking quite small and everything's working fine. Okay, it's quite small, so we'll come back to this. Okay, so let's come down, let's target the body, and let's assign box sizing is going to be border box, padding is going to be 3 RAM, and I'll use this media query functions, and tab port is going to be padding 0. So I don't want to have on the tablet or on a mobile phone, and I'll target the selections. Background color is going to be the primary color, and color is going to be white. So if I select, so let's come in the variables. So these are the color. Okay, so if I select, I can have a blue color at the background and white color text. Okay, so everything's working fine. So we are done with that for the base for the time being. We'll definitely come back later. Okay, so let's come here in typography and let's add the typography. Okay, so let's zoom it, let's target the body, and font family is going to be Lato sans serif. Font width is going to be 400, and font size is going to be 16 pixels. Line height is going to be 1.7, and color is going to be our color gray dark. So let's comment out of this for a while. So we are done with that typography. Now let's come back to the utility classes. So let's come here, and here we are creating some utility classes we're going to use throughout this entire project. Okay, so it's very good to define all those utility classes. The reason why I'm creating this utility class, because I have already gone through the project and I know what kind of utility class I have to add. Okay, so I have came all these variables by trial. Okay, and then I'm making this tutorial. So you center text, you define utility class center that what it will do. Okay, so these are the general name I'm giving. So text align center is going to be important, and I'll use this U margin bottom small, and margin bottom is going to be 1.5 ram important. I will replicate that, and I will simply change the variable to 4 ram, and this will call medium. Inside that, I'll take our media query and respond on tablet port. I want to have a bottom margin 3 ram and important. So as you can see, it's so easy once you make this kind of mixing function, and you can simply plug that whenever in whichever element you want. So everything's working fine in our terminal. Let's bring down. Let's come down. U margin bottom big, and margin bottom is going to be 8 ram important, and I'll use this mixing functions to respond on tablet port is going to be margin bottom, and this will have 5 ram important. So it's, you can see the changes on the right hand side. Okay, now let's take the another one. U margin top big, and margin top is going to be 8 ram important, and let's take this another one. U margin top, and this will call huge. Let's provide a space, and margin top is going to be 10 ram important. So these are the utility classes we have created for the time being, and we definitely come back once again. So let's cut this and let's come back once again. Everything's working fine. Our base is done, our typography is done, our utility classes is also done. So let's close all this, and now let's go to the navigation section. So far what we have done some general configuration for this project, like creating utility classes, defining variables, colors, mixing function, and now we are going to design the navigation. Okay, so for that I'm going to my layout section. There I'm going into my navigation SAS. Okay, let's click on that, and let's simply copy this navigations, and let's target that. Let's zoom a bit, close this one, bring it down, and what else we have. So as you can see, the general convention which we have provided in this, so navigation slash checkbox, navigation slash button, navigation slash btns. So I'm going to use this ideas, and I will follow the chaining. Okay, so I can target by this way, and that's how powerful SAS is. So these are the things which I'm going to select. Okay, so let me quickly select that. So the first we have is this checkbox. So this is how I'm targeting navigation and slash slash checkbox. So I don't need to write navigation slash checkbox. Okay, so this is how we are doing nesting. So button is done. Now let's target the other one. So let's zoom a bit, and this is called background nav list item link, and inside that we have a link or visited. So these are the things we have selected. Okay, so first thing we have to do for the checkbox, so display is going to be none for the time being, and let's come to the button, and background color is going to be our color white, height is going to be 7 ram, width is going to be 7 ram, and position is going to be fixed, top is going to be 6 ram, and right is going to be 6 ram. So right now nothing's happening, so let's assign a box shadow. So 0, 1 ram, 3 ram, and RGBA, and simply remove this to color black, and let's assign opacity to 0, 1. So as you can see, that square box on the right hand side, let's assign a border radius to 50%, so this will look nice. Now let's assign Z index, so it will come on top of everything, and text align is going to be center, cursor is going to be pointer, so looking good. Now let's assign a media query, so include respond for the tab port I want to be top 4 RAM and right 4 RAM, so it will go a little upward. And let's assign the same for the phone as well. So top is going to be 3 RAM and right is going to be 3 RAM as well, so it will go up. As you can see, it moved up. So this is how it will look on a desktop, and this is how it will look on a mobile phone. So now let's come to this, let's see where it is. Okay, simply come here and let's grab the background. Height is going to be 6 RAM. So as you can see, that line. Width is going to be 6 RAM. Border radius 50%. Background gradient, color primary, light, and color primary, dark. So this is how it will look. Let's word wrap that. You have this nice circle. Come down. Position is going to be fixed. Top 6 RAM, right 6 RAM. So there it is. Z index 1000. Let's make it 1000. So this is look good, and let's try to decrease this one too. Okay, this will come on top of that. So let's keep it that for time being. Let's provide transition, transform 0.8 seconds, cube bezier, and 0.86, 0.71, and let's assign our media query response for tab port. So top is going to be 4.5 RAM, right is going to be 4.5 RAM. Let's come down, add a media query once more time, and this one is for phone. Top is going to be 3.5 RAM and right is going to be 3.5 RAM. So this will be in the middle. Okay, you can see that. Let's come here, let's grab the nav. So height is going to be 100 VH, position fixed, top 0, left 0, Z index 115, opacity 0. Let's comment out of this. So width is going to be 0, transition all 0.8 millisecond, and this cube buzzer 0.68 minus 0.55, 0.265, 155. So this is how it will look. We'll have the nice animation. So let's forward this properly. Okay, let's come to the list. Positions absolute, top 50%, left 50%, transform translate minus 50%, minus 50%. So right there. List style none, align item center with 100% right there. Let's come to item, margin 1 RAM, we will have a space. And let's come to the links. So display inline block, and font size is going to be 3 RAM, little big, and font family, font width 300, and padding is going to be 1 RAM from top and left and 2 RAM. Color is going to be white, it will disappear. Okay, let's comment out of this. Let's provide text decoration none, text background image linear gradient 128 degree, transparent 0%, transparent 50%, color white 50%. Okay, now let's do the work on. Let's assign a background size is going to be 202 per 20%, transition all 0.4 seconds. So this is how it will look. Let's come down, let's target the span, and margin margin right is going to be 1.5 RAM, display inline block. Come down, let's target on over effect and on active. So background position is going to be 100%, and color is going to be our primary. Remove this primary. Transform, translate 1 RAM, so we'll have the slight movement. You can see it's nice effect we are getting. Let's come down. Now let's add the functionality. So let's target checkbox, and on check, and I also target the background color. So this will have a transform. Scale is going to be 80%. Okay, so as you can see it's not working. Let's come up here and click on this. So if I click, okay, nothing is happening. So just decrease the font size. Okay, now it's working. As you can see, if I clicking, we are getting this nice effect. So that's because of this scale. Okay, that's working absolutely fine. If I click, as well, if I click on the white, it's happening. We are getting this nice over effect on the button and the menus, as you can see. Let's come here and let's target check box, and on checked I want that nav opacity is going to be 1 and width is going to be 100%. So right now is in the middle. So let's come here and let's say display is going to be none, and let's do the changes here in Z index. Make it 200, 2000, so it will come on top of that. And if I click, I will have this animations. So right now we are getting this animation on our menus. It's looking good. Okay, let's make opacity 0, so it will be displayed on desktop and will only visible on tab. Font size is also quite big. Let's make it white, so we are getting good. We're going to fix this font, don't need to worry about it. So let's come down and let's target the icon. So icon will have a position, relative, and margin top is going to be 3.5 RAM. Before, after, width is going to be 3 RAM. Height is going to be 2 pixels, and it will have a background color, our color gray dark 3. So right now we're getting this line. Okay, you can see that. So let's target the display inline block. So this is how it will look, and let's target after and before. Okay, so content empty, and position is going to be absolute, left 0, transition all 0.2 seconds. So right now we're getting this. Let's come down. I'll target the before, and top is going to be minus 0.8 RAM, and this will have after. Okay, so let's make it plus. So right now we have this 3 line. As you can see, it's look like an icon. Let's come down on button over icon. So before, I want top is going to be 1 RAM. It will go a little upward. As you can see, the moment we are overing, we are going up. Simply replicate this and change this to plus. So okay, this will have after, not before. So we'll have this animation. So if we over, this is how it will look. Let's come down and we'll target the check box, and on check plus button icon and background color transparent. So this is how it looks. Simply replicate this, and this will have a before. Remove this, and top is going to be 0, transform, rotate minus 135 degree, and simply replicate this, and this one would be after. And let's see, if we click, okay, we are getting this nice effect. Okay, something's wrong. Oh, here we have to make it plus, not minus. So right now we're getting this cross sign. As you can see, the middle one is getting disappear and the two are making the cross. Let's come up here So this is how it will look on our desktop. As you can see, we are getting this nice over effect. If I close things, everything's working fine, and don't need to worry about this blue color. We're going to fix that. We're going to do the changes when we in the font, that will we get go. Okay, so this looks perfect. So this is how it will look on a mobile phone. It's looking perfect. Let me stretch it out on a tablet. This is how it will look. Okay, it's looking absolutely wonderful. So we are done with the navigation. Now let's move to the hero section. Okay, make this comment hero section. I'll take a header with a class header. In that I will take another div with a header dash logo box. Inside that I will have my image, logo image. So it will have a class header logo. I'll take slash and my logo one. So this is the logo. Let's come out of that. I'll take another div with a class logo text box, and that I'll take a h1 tag with a class of heading primary. And that I'll take a span with a class heading primary, and let's say call it main. This was called a technology, and I will take a span heading primary sub, and it will call is where life happens. Okay, this is how it will look. So let's come down. Let's take a button. So button white and button animate. So this is how our hero section will look. Now let's assign section and tours. So when someone will click on this button, it will go to the tour section. That's why I'm assigning. Okay, inside that let's try discover technology. Let's come out of that and end of header. So in the header, these are the information we wanted for the time being. Okay, let's come here and let's go to the layout, and inside the layout we have this header section. Okay, in this we're going to write all the code for our hero section, our header. Okay, so simply copy the header and let's target that. First height is going to be 85 VH, and background image linear gradient, it will have to right bottom, RGB color primary dark one, and the second one is RGBA. So word wrap this one, and let's color primary light 1. So that's it. Let's come in our terminal. So there is a problem. What? Okay, it's not that opacity. So this is how it will look. As you can see, the changes is taking place. Let's come down. Background size cover, and background position is going to be top. Background position is going to be relative. Height is going to be 85 VH. Look perfect. Let's come down, target the background image. It will have a radiant gradient and circle 610 pixels at 5.52% and 51.6%, and it will have a this color 050872, the primary one. Okay, and with opacity of 0. Then I will take another RGB. It will have a 7 3 53 and 1 with a 97.5. Okay, so we have this nice circle. Let's comment out of this. So this will have, so we have that circle. Let's come down. Let's use the browser support. Okay, so in that we'll use the clip path, and I'll take a polygon because I want that slide curve shape. Okay, so I'll take a polygon. Inside that I will pass the value 00, and or for other browsers, so WebKit clip path, it will have a polygon with the same value 00, and that we have to define. Okay, so this is how it will look on a desktop. As you can see, we have this nice animation effect, and this is the logo, and at the background we have this. Everything's good. So we'll target WebKit clip path. Polygon is going to be 00, 100% and 100%, 75 VH and 0, 100%. So it's working fine. and this one is for the other browser, okay, not Google Chrome. So now we are writing for Google Chrome. So clip path polygon 00, 100% and 0 and 100% and 70 VH and 0 and 10%. Height is going to be 95 VH. Let's provide S and let's provide this comma, and now everything's fine. As you can see, we are getting this nice polygon style. So as you can see, we are getting this nice effect. This one is also working fine, and here we are. So let me explain what we have done so far. So I have taken support for the browser because this polygon styling is not normally available in all the browsers, so we have to write the code for other browser as well. So the first WebKit I have applied for like Firefox and Explorer for those browser, and the second one clip path is for the Chrome. Okay, so these are the value which I have defined. I'll take the media only screen, and min resolution is going to be 192 dpi, and min width 37.5 RAM. Only screen and web kit min device fix pixels ratio is going to be 2, and min width 37.5 RAM. Only screen and min width is going to be 125 em, and inside that we're going to define the variables. So first one is background image linear gradient, so it will have two right bottom RGBA, and color primary light with 0%, 0.8, and RGB color primary dark 0.8 opacity. So this looks perfect. So we are done with the media query for all the screens. Okay, let's come down. I'll take our response, and let's write the media query for the phone. So web polygon 00, 100%, 0 and 100%. This will have 85 VH and 0 100%. And for the other browser, other clip path 00 and 100%, 0 100%, 85 VH. So right now it's looking perfect. We are done with the media query, we are done with the supports, and we are done with this normal media query, and everything's looking fine. Let's expand this, close this. Everything's looking great. Let's target the logo. Position is going to be absolute. Top is going to be 0 RAM. Left is going to be 4 RAM. So it would be right there. Let's get the logo itself, and height is going to be 15.5 RAM, so that will look a little smaller. Let's come here, let's assign, okay, text box, and position is going to be absolute. Top is going to be 40%, left is going to be 50%, transform translate is going to be -50% and -50%, and text align is going to be center. So as you can see, our text is in the middle. So let's come here, let's decrease it to 2, so it will look a little smaller, and there it is. So looking nice. Let's comment out or uncomment this, and let's provide -2 1 RAM, so we'll go a little 2. This one is perfect. So now let's start styling the heading. Okay, technology is where life happens, and the reason why I'm not going to style this element in the header file, because we're going to use the same styling in multiple places. So it's a very good way to create to style this element into our typography section, because this section is totally related to typography. So I'm going to style in typography. So let's come here and let's go to this base typography, and here I'm going to define and provide all the styling of this header primary. Okay, this one. I'll come here, header primary, and I'll assign a color is going to be white. So this will how it look, and text transform is going to uppercase, back face visibility is going to be hidden because we have to add the animation. That's why I'm adding this. And margin bottom is going to be 6 RAM, so it will have a space. Let's grab the main, so this one, and let's grab the sub one as well. So let's target the very first one. So this space is going to be block, and font size is going to be 6 RAM, and font width is going to be 400, and letter spacing is going to be 3.5 RAM. So this will look quite big. It's looking good on desktop, okay, but it's quite big on mobile phone. We're going to fix that. So let's write the media query, response phone, and letter spacing is going to be 1 RAM. So AS, we are missing the S, okay. So right now it's working fine. Let's provide 2 RAM, it's quite small, 3 RAM, this looks perfect. Let's come to the sub, and display is going to be block. Font size is going to be 2 RAM. Font width is going to be 700. Letter spacing is going to be 1.75 RAM, and include respond for the phone is going to be letter spacing is going to be 0.5 RAM. So this looks good on a desktop, and mobile phone is also looking good, but it's quite big. So let's decrease this to where it is. Let's come here, let's make it 3. So this looks perfect, and here we have to make it 1. So right now it's looking fine, absolutely, okay. We're going to fix this. If we find that it's not looking good, we're going to fix that at the end, because we have to do a little bit modification in the typography as per the screen. So we're going to do that, okay. So let's come here and let's close all this tab. So now let's start writing the animation, okay. So I'm into my animation folder file, so let's come and write that. So I'll take this keyframe, and this will call move in left, okay, and then I'm going to define the variable. So on 0% I want opacity to be 0, transform translate y is going to be -10 RAM, and on 80% I want translate x is going to be 1 RAM, and on 100% I want transform opacity 1 and transform translate is going to be 0. So this is simply copy this all and paste this, and this one will call move right, and simply change the value, so 10, and this will have minus, okay. Let's replicate this, and let's make it bottom, and let's in the y direction is going to be 3 RAM, and simply remove this 80, and on translate, okay, let's come up here, let's come to this, and in the typography section, and here we have to add that because where we have the animation. So I will tag the main, and in that I will tag the animation name is going to be move in left, okay. So this is the animation I'm adding to the main one. Then I will tag the animation duration, so 1 second, and the next one is going to be animation timing function is going to be easy out. So as you can see, the moment I'm saving, I'm getting this animation. So this is how it will look. Move and right, here we have to define the timing 1 second and easy in and out. So it's working fine. As you can see, we are getting this animation, so it's beautiful. So this is for the main and the subsection. So let's decrease it to 1, okay. Let's come here and on the phone, let's make it, now it's looking good. So on a desktop we have this, and on a phone we have 1 RAM font size. So we are done with the animation. So all the animation we're going to write in this animation file. So right now we have created 3 files for the 3 function for the animation, 1 for left, right, and bottom, okay. So let's close this one, this one. Let's come here and let's copy this button, and let's come here and into the component we have a button. So in this file we're going to write the styling for the button, okay. So let's come here and let's target button link visited. First text transform is going to uppercase, text decoration none, padding 1.5 RAM, 4 RAM, display inline block, border radius 10 RAM, position relative, font size the default font. Okay, so let's come here. Everything's working good. So we have some sort of error in our terminal, so let's come here and let's copy this font size and simply replace this. Now it's working fine. Okay, let's bring this down. Transition all 0.2 second. Change for the button. Border none. Cursor pointer. On over effect, let's come here. Let's grab this button white. Background color is going to be color white, so this is how it will look. Color gray dark. After background color is going to be color white. Let's come here on the over effect. Let's add transition, translate Y -3 pixels, and box shadow is going to be 0, 1 RAM and 2 RAM. RGB color black with opacity of 0.2. So right now it's working fine. Let's come down, grab the after element, transform scale initially 1.4. okay, and scale Y is going to be 1.6. Opacity is going to be 0, so right now it's hidden because of the opacity. Okay, let's come down, target the button active and on focus. Outline is going to be none. Transform translate Y -1 pixels. Box shadow 0.0, 1.5. 1 RAM. RGB color black. 0.2 opacity. So right now we're having this style. So please select this one and remove with background color. Let's target green, and background color is going to be color primary. Color background white. After background color is going to be color primary. So let's come here, and so everything's looking good for the button so far, whatever we have done. Let's come down, let's target the after element. Content is going to be empty. Display is going to be inline block. Height is going to be 100%, and width is going to be 100%, and border radius is going to be 10 RAM. Position absolute. Top is going to be 0, left is going to be 0, Z index is going to be -1, so it will go back of the original button, and transition all 0.4 second. So everything is working fine. As you can see, it's working fine on a desktop. We are getting this nice over effect. Let's come here, let's target the animated animations. Move in bottom. We have already created this animation, and it will have a 0.5 millisecond easy in and out, and 0.75 millisecond. Animation fill mode is going to be backward. So right now you can see we are getting this animation. It's working absolutely fine. So let's refresh this, and we are getting this nice over effect. As you can see, it's fully responsive for all different schemes. Let's come here, let's close this button, and now let's start designing the second part. Okay, so let me give this comment main section. So now let's start with the second section of this project. So it's going to be the main section. So I'll come here, I'll take a main tag. Inside that I will take a section tag with a class of section about. Inside that I will take a div. It will have a h2 with a class of heading secondary. Okay, inside that our text is going to be exciting technology for people, tech people. It will have a class called uCenter text, which we have already created as a utility classes, and we also have a uMargin bottom, so I want to give some space from the bottom. So right now it's looking great. Let's come down, I'll take another div with a row class. It will have a class col1 of 2. So this is how I'm going to define my columns. So I'm taking this generic name, so col stand for column 1 of 2. So generally in one row we're going to have 2 columns, so this is what I'm denoting. Okay, so in this I'm going to take a h3 tag. It will have a heading, and inside that I will write my text. You are going to fall in love with technology. So you can see it's looking wide grid, and we'll assign our utility class u margin bottom small, so we'll have some space from the bottom. Let's come down, let's take a paragraph, and that we're going to take this lorem dummy text. So we have some text. Okay, simply replicate it, copy this and paste. So we'll have another heading. We'll change the text, live technology like you never have lived. I'll take a anchor and it will assign a class btn text, and here we'll have a learn more and this arrow html arrow sign. Let's come out of that div, and I will take another column 1 of 2. So this is going to my second column, so I will simply this. Okay, inside that I will take another div with a class. Okay, in that I will take an image, and I will get into my tech folder. Inside that I will pick this image 3, and I will assign photo 1, and src is going to be tech image 3 and 300 vw stand for width, and tech 300. Let's assign the size. So min width is going to be 56.25 em and 20 vw, and max width is going to be 37.5 em and 70 vw. So right now you can see the image is looking quite small, and let's assign a class. So it will call composition photo, and that I'll take a composition photo class with photo 1. So altogether we're going to have 3 photos. Simply this, and let's add the closing image closing tag. Simply copy this and replicate this 3 times, because altogether we need to have 3 images, and simply change all the image. So here we have our images, and this is the column 1 and column 2. So we have done with this part. Okay, all the text, all the images are in their place. Now let's come here in our grid and let's define the grid layout. So in this entire website we are following a special grid layout system. Okay, we have 2 layout grids. Some of the section going to have 3 layout grids. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to define all the grids right in the grid files for all the sections. So what we can do, so in the grid file we're going to define all the grids layout, so for this about us sections and other section as well. So let's create the grid for all the section. Okay, so simply copy this row, I call him row, and let's target that. Max width is going to be grid width, so we have created this as a variable. This one, as you can see, this is the variable which we have created, and margin is going to be 0 auto to bring things in the middle. And now let's target the last child, and margin border is going to be this gutter vertical, so this one. Let's come down and let's add the media query to respond. So on tab port we're going to have a margin bottom is going to be around gutter, this small one, and let's add the respond for the tablet port. Max width is going to be 50%, padding is going to be 0 from top and bottom and 3 line from left and right. Let's come down, let's get the media query. So this time I will use the clear fix. So we have already created this in the mixing, so we're going to use that right now. So right now you can see everything in the middle. Now let's target the class call. So this is the one I'm targeting. Okay, float is going to be left, not last child. Margin right is going to be our gutter horizontal. So here we have this value, gutter horizontal. Simply replace this one. Okay, I'll get the media query for tab port, sorry, and I'll assign a margin right is going to be 0 and margin bottom is going to be the gutter vertical small. So as you can see, everything is taking place. Let's come out of that. Let's take the media query respond for tab port, and this time width is going to be 100% important. Simply copy this entire section, and width is going to be cal 100% minus hash gutter horizontal, and simply copy this one and paste here. Divide by 2. Come to the second one, let make it 3. Width is going to be cal 100% minus 2 divide by our gutter horizontal, divide by 3, because we're going to have 3 columns in this. Now let's target the 3 once more time, and this time width is going to be call 2 divide by 100, 2 multiplied by 100 plus horizontal. Let's format the document. Let's target the fourth one, and width is going to be 100% minus 3 multiplied by gutter horizontal divide by 4, call of 2, and this will 2 and this will 4. Width is going to be cal 2 multiplied by 100% minus 3 multiplied by gutter horizontal divide by 4 plus 2 multiply by gutter horizontal. So we are building the layout. Okay, so these are whatever we have done in this grid file. We are generally defining all the layout for this entire project. So later down we're going to simply plug these classes and our layout will be there. So all the variables which I have already defined. So right now it's not making a lot of sense right now, so just follow this. Everything becomes very clear when we're going to plug this and we'll have the layout the way we want it. So this is the main one, and inside this we're going to have all this one. So row is going to be the parent class. Inside that we're going to create all the classes. As you can see, we have all these classes. So let's come here, let's go in the basic and typography. So now let's styling this heading. Okay, simply come here and grab this heading secondary, come here, heading secondary. So font size is going to be 3.5 RAM, text transform is going to be upper scale, font width is going to be 700, display inline block, background image linear gradient to right, and we'll have this color primary light, and the other one is going to be color primary word wrap, this one. So right now we are getting this background color minus dark. Okay, background clip. Okay, so text. So right now we'll have the color on the text, not on the entire background. Okay, so that's why I have taken this that's why I have taken this property. Okay, so I want to apply this styling on the text. So I'll take the color and it's going to be transparent, so you can see the placement is taking place. And letter spacing is going to be 2.2 RAM, transform all 0.2 millisecond. Let's come down, let's take the media query respond and tab port. Font size is going to be 3 RAM. Let's come down, include respond. So on phone is going to be font size 2.5 RAM, so we are getting this nice. Transform skew y is going to be 2 degree, and a skew x is going to be 15 degree, and scale is going to be 1.4. so right now you can see, so the moment I will over my mouse, you will get this nice effect. Let's come down, text shadow is going to be 0.5 RAM, 1 RAM, 2 RAM, and we have our RGB color. So this will have a black, and opacity is going to be 2.2. so we are getting this nice over effect. So you can see the nice over effect we are getting on it. Now let's come here, let's grab this second heading. Font size is going to be our default font size. Okay, let's come into the variables. Let's copy this because this time I don't want to make any mistakes. Simply paste. So this is the default size we want to have. Let's come down, let's take the font width is going to be 700. Text transform is going to be upper scale, and let's come here, let's target this paragraph. Font size is going to be default font size. Okay, not last child. So margin bottom is going to be 3 ram, so we are getting this nice 3 ram space from the bottom. So as you can see, we have divided this in two sections, so column 1 and column 2. So we have to fix this image. So let's close this all. Now let's come here, close this all. Now let's go to the component and we have a compositions. Okay, so inside this we're going to write our styling for this element. So let's come here, let's make this side by side. Position is going to be relative. We'll target the photo. So let's come down. So this is the one which we are targeting. So width is going to be 50%, 55%, and my box shadow is going to be 1.5 ram, 4 ram, and RGB. And this will have our black. Okay, word wrap this one, and let's provide the opacity is going to be 0.4. So they are in one line. Okay, box radius, border radius is going to be 2 pixels. Position absolute, Z index is going to be 10, so they are on top of each other. Outline none, outline offset is going to be 2 ram. Transition all 0.2 millisecond. Let's add a media query, respond. So tab port, float is going to be left, position is going to be relative, width is going to be 33.333% because we want to divide equally, and box shadow is going to be 0, 1.5 ram, 3 ram, and our RGB color. So this will have a black and with opacity of 0.2 milliseconds. So you can see they are in one line because of 333% with equally divided into all this image. So let's grab the first image. So we have this class, image 1, image 2. So let's come here, word wrap this. So let's grab this image P1. Left is going to be 0, top is going to be -2 ram. Let's add a media query. So tab port is going to be, top is going to be 0, and transform scale is going to be 1.2. so as you can see they are looking a little big. Let's grab this all and replicate this. Let's make it 2, and this will have a plus, this will have -1 ram, and scale is going to be 3. Z index is going to be 100, so it will be on top of all the images. Copy that and change this to 3, and this will looks good. Let's make it 20%, and it will have a less 10 ram, so it will be a little up. Transform scale is going to be 1.1 ram. So to fix that problem, what we have done, top is 1 ram and left is going to be 0. Okay, let's come down, let's add a over effect. Outline is going to be 1.5 ram solid and the primary color. Transform scale is going to be 1.05, and translate one y is going to be 0.5 ram minus. Okay, box shadow is going to be 0, 2.5 ram, 4 ram, and RGB color is going to be color black and with opacity of 0.5. Z index is going to be 20. So this is how we'll get the effect. So let's bring it up, and this is how we get the animation. So it's looking fine. So why this image are on top of each other? So let's fix that. So on mobile device look good, but on desktop they are on top of each other, so we're going to fix that as well. So let's come here on over effect, and let's target the photo. So you can see that I'm following this convention a lot. So these are the advanced CSS concept where we play with the pseudo element to select multiple elements or to a specific one which we want to target. Okay, so just follow along with me. To transform is going to be scale 1, so 0.95, you can see we are getting this nice over effect. So if we over on the images, we are getting this nice. Let's fix that problem. So this will become right, so it will come here. As you can see, now it's looking good. On a mobile phone it's looking fine, and on a desktop we are looking this way. Okay, so this 3 image we are having nice over effect. So let's close this one and let's come to home, which we have inside the page folder. Okay, so right now we are on the home section, so let's come here and let's come up here and let's grab this section. So related to sections, all the sections styling, all the sections layouts, we're going to define here in the home file. Okay, so this will control the section part. I'll say about section, about background is going to be color gray light 1. So we'll have as you can see we have a background color. Now let's come down, let's assign a padding top and bottom 25, and left and right is going to be 0. Margin top is going to be -20. I take a media query, tab port, it will have a padding 20 RAM, and left and right is going to be 0. So this looks nice on a small screens. This is how it will look on a desktop. This is how it will look on a mobile phone. So let's increase this 10 RAM. So we'll have some space from left and right as well. Let's come into the typography and let's come here and let's change this default font size to, let's say, 14 pixels. Okay, so now it's looking nice. It's looking nice, a little smaller than the heading one, and this section is looking perfect. Let's close this one. Let's come to this section, home section, close this as well. And so we're done with this part, this section about. Okay, this part is done. We are getting this nice over effect and everything's working fine, 100% responsive. Let's close this one. So this is the one, we have to close it and close this one as well. So inside the row we have 2 column. As you can see as you can see, this is how we are building the layout. So call 1 of 2, that means in one section it's going to be have 2 column. Section feature, let's take a row class and we're going to follow the same convention, call 1 of 4. So this time we're going to have 4 columns, and let's come here in the grid. As you can see, this is the one we are taking. Okay, feature box, inside that we're going to take a feature box icon. So here we're going to put our icons. Okay, and I will take another class icon basic world. Inside that I will take a h3 and I will assign a class heading. In that we're going to type technology world. So here we have this text. Okay, so why it's coming in italic form? Okay, let's make it to text, margin bottom small. Okay, we have to put it here. So right now it's looking great. So I'll take a paragraph, it will have a feature box text. Inside that we're going to take some Lawrence form. Simply copy this and paste couple of times. So as you can see we have 4, and this is how it will look on a bigger screen desktop. So this is why we have built this layout. As you can see, this call 1 of 4, so in one column we're going to have 4 rows, and that's what it taking place automatically. So all we are doing here, we are plugging these utility classes which we have created in our grid systems, and all the styling is taking place. So let's come here, and as you can see here it is. Let's change the icon. So this will have compass, this will have a map, and this will have heart. So right now the icons are not displaying because I haven't connected that. We'll fix that. Okay, so let's come here, go to this featured box section, and let's start the styling, and we're going to fix that. Okay, not a big deal. So let's come here, let's come into the home section and just start working on the layout. Simply copy this and let's come in the home section. We're going to target the section feature, and it will have a padding 20% for top and bottom, and left hand is going to be 0, and background image is going to be linear gradients to right bottom, RGB, color, primary. So word wrap this one, and let's assign opacity is 1, and take the second color is going to be color primary dark with 1% opacity. The reason why I'm doing in this way, if you want to put an image at the back end of this grid section, this feature section, you can do it. So here I'm leaving a room for all of you. All you have to do is simply take URL and insert the image. Okay, that's why I'm giving it this way, and from here you can control the opacity so the image will display. If you take 1, the image will hide. If you decrease the opacity for 0.2, 0.3, so the image will be visible. So let's change this to light, and here it is. It's looking quite dark, and that's what we wanted. Background size is going to be cover, and transform SQY is going to be -7 degree. Transform margin top is going to be minus trim ram. So as you can see, this is the diagonal shape we are getting. Okay, now let's fix that text. So let's target the all the children's. Transform y is going to be 7 degree on the plus direction, so this text will come on straight. Okay, let's add the media query. On tab port, padding is going to be 10 ram, 0. Look good. This is how it will look on a desktop. We have to assign padding. Okay, so let's assign a padding. So let's come here in hero section, and what we can do, let's assign a 10 ram from left and right. So right now we are having this padding from left and right to the section, and let's come here in the featured box. Simply copy this featured box, and altogether we have 4 box. So let's target that and let's start styling. So background color is going to be RGB, and it will have a color white, and it will have opacity 0.8. so this is how it will look. Let's assign a font size going to be 1.5 ram. Padding is going to be 2.5 ram. Text align is going to be center, and border radius is going to be 3 pixels. So this looks quite huge and beautiful. Border box shadow is going to be 1.5 ram, 4 ram, and RGB. So this will have a black. Let's change this to 1.115. Transition transform 0.3 seconds. Include, let's write the media query, and this was going to be for tab port. Okay, so padding is going to be 2 ram, so we'll have some space from all the sides. Let's come out of that. Let's target the icon, although the icons are not displaying, but let's target that for it. So font size is going to be 6 ram, and margin bottom is going to be 0.5 ram. Display inline is going to be block, and background image is going to be linear gradient to right. I'll be use the color primary light, and the second color is going to be color primary dark. Word wrap this. So the image is, because we haven't connected that, we're going to do it. Okay, so let's come down. Let's assign a color is going to be transparent. Let's add a media query. So tab port, it will have a margin bottom 0. Let's come out of that, and let's add an over effect. So transform translate y minus 1.5 ram, and I want to scale it to 1.03. so let's make it big, and as you can see, the moment we are hovering, it's going up. There is a lot of text, we have to fix that. Let's come here, let's remove a couple of text from all this feature box. Okay, so let's remove from here and from here as well. So right now we have less, and it's looking beautiful. Okay, it's looking beautiful. This is how it will look on a phone. And as you can see, we don't need to write a lot of media queries. Just we are doing that, we are using the mixing functionality which we have created for our media query, and that's what we are doing, simply plugging it, and we are getting the desired result which we want. So let's refresh, and everything's working fine. Comment this, I don't know why the icons are not displaying. Maybe there is some error in the link which we have connected, so we're going to fix that later. So that's why let's come here and simply grab this one. So let's come here and simply grab this and this one, okay, all, and change this to this. So right now we're getting this styling, and let's target that. Font size is going to be 15 pixels. So right now it's looking good, everything's working fine. Our navigations, this section is also looking, and we are almost done with this part. As you can see, it's fully responsive for all the screens, for a desktop and for a phone. Let's close this one. Let's come here, and this will call tour sections. Let's take a section and we'll have a class called section tours. In that I will take an ID and it will have a section tour. Inside that I will take a div, and let's simply copy this code because this is going to be our heading, and simply paste here. So we are getting the same styling, okay. And let's change the text to most popular technology. Let's take another div with a row class, and let's define the grid layout, okay. So call one of three. So in this time we're going to have three column. Inside that we're going to take a div with a class of a card, and inside that we'll take another div with a class card side and card side front. Inside that we'll take a card picture class and another card picture one. In that we're going to add this HTML. So right now nothing is displaying because we have to add the images, okay. Let's take the h4 and it will have a class card heading. Inside that we'll take a span, it will have a class of card heading span, card heading span 1. So two classes I have taken. In that I'm going to write my text, the future technology. So here you can see we are getting the text. So let's take another div with a class of card detail. In that I will take a UL, and in that I will take a li. So simply replicate this couple of times and type the text. So this will call blockchain, and this will call new technology, this will call light of tech, this will call note of tech, and this will call developer. So you can type whatever you want. I'm just writing this random text, okay. So okay, there is something. Simply copy this and cut and paste here. So right now everything's looking good. Let's come out of that div. Let's take a class card side or card side back card. So this will be for the background, okay. And let's add another class for back one, okay. Take another card with a CTA call to actions, and let's take a paragraph price only, and the price amount. So I'm not explaining this because these are the self-explanatory things, so you guys can easily understand, okay. So I'll take an anchor, it will have a btn class and btn white, okay. Let's assign an ID for a pop-up. So when someone will click on the button, it will the pop-up will open, okay. And this pop-up we are getting with the help of pure JavaScript, pure CSS, not JavaScript, okay. So I will type read now So we are getting this now button. Okay, let's close this one. Simply copy this and replicate this. So altogether we want to display 3 cards, so here we are. So all 3 cards are there. Let's take another div. It will have a button. Okay, so I will assign a button and button green, and that I will let discover all doors. You can type technology. Okay, it's totally up to you. Let's assign a class. It will have a UG text margin top huge. So here we have our button, and we're getting this nice over effect. So we are done with this part. Now let's start styling. So we'll go to the home section and we'll assign some general styling to that. So let's grab the entire section, let's close it, and let's target that section tour. It will have a background color is this color gray light, so we'll have this background color. Now let's assign a padding. Is going to be 25% top and bottom, and 0 15 from left and right, and 0 from bottom, sorry, right. Margin top is going to be -10 RAM, so it will have some space. Let's make it to 12. So we are done with the section setting. Now let's start styling this cards. Okay, so we are into the card folder, into the components, and we are into the card file, sorry. So card, simply come here and open this one. So these are the cards, simply grab that and let's write the CSS. So prospective is going to be 150 RAM, and Moz prospective is going to be 150 RAM. Position is going to be relative. Height is going to be 125 RAM. Okay, let's get the side, and height is going to be 52 RAM. Translation all 0.8 second ease. Position is going to be absolute. Top is going to be 0. Left is going to be 0. Width is going to be 100%. So as you can see, the stylings are taking place. And let's add the WebKit. Background visibility is going to be hidden, and background visibility is going to be hidden for chromes, and border radius is going to be 3 pixels. Overflow is going to be hidden. So right now it's looking good, but it will look even more beautiful. Okay, so box shadow is going to be 0 1.15 1.5 RAM, 4 RAM, and our RGB color. Okay, so it will have a color black with opacity 0.15. So we are getting this color. Okay, you can see our card is taking its shape. So let's target the font. So background color is going to be white, and back is going to be rotate 180 degree. Okay, so we want to rotate this on over effect. So right now you can see, now we'll target 1. It will have a background image is going to be linear gradient, and right bottom color secondary light, color secondary dark. So you can see these colors are taking place. Let's simply copy this and replicate this 2 more times, and here we have to change the colors. So let's come out of that. Let's target effect on over. So side font, so transform rotate on the y direction is going to be 180 degree. On over side back, transform rotate y is going to be 0. So let's come up here and let's change this. Refresh this one. As you can see, it's working fine. We are getting this over effect. Let's come out of that. Let's target the picture. So background size is going to be cover. Height is going to be 23 RAM. Background blend mode screen, and clip path is going to be polygon 00, 100% 0, and 100%, 85%, 0, 100%. So right now they are not displaying, but the image is there. So border top right radius, it will have 3 pixels, and for the left radius is going to be 3 pixels as well. So we have some this border on top of both the sides. Let's get the this where it is, this image one. Okay, assign a background image is going to be linear gradient to right bottom, and in this we're going to take our color. So this color is going to be secondary light, and the second color is going to be secondary dark, and we'll take the image. Okay, url dash dash, I'll get into my, as I get into my tech folder, inside that I will pick the image. So this is how it will look. You can see it's looking beautiful. So simply copy this and replicate this 3 times. So altogether we have 3 cards, and change this 2 and 3, and let's save it and change the images as well. So still they're having the same image. Okay, let's see what's the problem. Let's come into the HTML, and here we have the same ID, so same class. So each class has the same, so this will be 2 and this becomes 3. So right now we have a different image and different stylings and different background colors. Now we can change the color as well. So change the color. Let's get the heading, and font size is going to be 2.8 RAM. Font width is going to be 300. Text transform is going to be upper scale. Text align is going to be right, and color is going to be color white. Position absolute. Top is going to be 12 RAM. Right is going to be 2 RAM. Width is going to be 75%. Heading span, so this is the one we are targeting. Okay, background image linear gradient to right bottom, and RGB color is going to be our color secondary light with opacity of 0.85, and the other color is going to be RGB color secondary and dark with opacity of 0.85. You can see we are getting this nice over effect. So we are getting some error. So you can see the stylings are taking place. Remove this, and let's add a padding 1 RAM, 1.5 RAMs, and box decoration break is going to be clone. Okay, and let's get the image one, and inside that I'm going to paste this one. So right now it's looking beautiful. You can see all of them are looking beautiful. Simply replicate this couple of times for all the images, and change this 2 and this one is 3, and change the color as well. So it's looking great. Okay, this front part is looking good. Let's come up here, let's copy this color and simply changed this one dark. Now let's get the detail section. Padding is going to be 3 RAM. UL list style is going to be none. Width is going to be 80%, and margin 0 autumn, so it will become in middle. LI is going to be text align center. Font size is going to be 1.5 RAM. Padding is going to be 1 RAM. Not last child, so border bottom is going to be 1 pixel solid. Color gray light 2. So we'll have this line but not in the last one, so it's looking fine. You can see the text are in the middle and it's looking beautiful. Let's get this call to action button. Position is going to be absolute, top is going to be 50%, left is going to be 50%, transform translate minus 50%, minus 50%, width is going to be 190%, text align is going to be center. Now let's get the price box, text align center, color is going to be our color white, margin bottom is going to be 8 ram. So if we over on it, we'll get it, as you can see, everything in the middle, and it's looking fine. And get the price only section, and font size is going to be 1.4 ram. Text transform to upper scale, price value, and font size is going to be 6 ram. Font width is going to be 100. Let's add the media query. So media only screen, and max width is going to be 56.25 em. Only screen and over none. So height would be auto. Border radius is going to be 3 pixels. Background color is going to be color white. Box shadow is going to be 0.1.5, and this is the color black, and we have opacity of 1.15. so everything is working fine. Let's get the side, and height is going to be auto. Position is going to be relative. Box shadow is going to be none. Let's get the back side of the card, and transform rotate Y is going to be 0, and clip path polygon is going to be 0, 15%, 100%, 0, 100%, 100%, and 0% and 100%. On over effect, on side, front, transform is going to be rotate wide is going to be 0. Details, padding is going to be 1 ram, 3 ram. So this looks quite good. Let's make it to 4. So as you can see, everything's looking good. Text buttons all are in place. Let's come down, get the call to action button. Position is going to be relative. Top 0, left 0, transform translate 0, width is going to be 100%, padding is going to be 7 ram and 4 ram and 4 ram, and the last one is going to be 4 ram. So here you can see the back side of the card is coming in front. So let's get the price box, and margin bottom is going to be 3 ram. Let's come here, price value, font size is going to be 4 ram. So everything's looking good. So it's looking perfect on a desktop. As you can see, you are getting this nice over effect. This one is also working fine, and this section is also working fine. Our navigation is working fine. So we are done with the tool section. Now let's move to the next one. So we'll take a section tag. It will have a section story class. Inside that we'll take another div. It will have a bg video class, and that will take a video element. It will have a bg video content class, and that will add a video file which is inside the tech file. So there you can see this is how our video is looking. So let's format the document, and let's say autoplay, mute, and loop. So here the video is playing and it's keep on loop. Okay, inside that let me write this text for all of you guys. So your browser is not supported. Okay, so here you can see there is a scroll bar and the video is playing at the background. Let's come down, let's take another div, Inside that we'll take a h2 with a heading section class, and in that we'll write we make people love technology. In div we'll add a class u center text, u margin bottom, sorry big, to make the text in the center and to have a gap, to make the text center and to have a gap. As you can see, this is how it will look. Let's come down. Let's take another div with a row, and inside that we'll take another div with a class of story, and that will take a figure element for our pictures, and let's assign a class story shape, and that will take an image tag, and we'll add the pictures which is inside the tech folder image3, and let's give a all text person1, and let's have a class story image. Okay, let's take a fig caption, sorry, and let's assign a class story caption. Inside that we're going to type the caption is Jack Smith, the one who going to give the review on this store. Okay, so as you can see, this is the image. It's really big, but we're going to fix that. Okay, let's come down. Let's take a div with a story text. Inside that we're going to take h3 tag with a heading territory, and let's assign one more class u margin bottom small, and that we're going to add the text technology changing the life of people. Okay, let's come down and we'll take another p tag. It will have some Lawrence bomb text, and let's simply replicate this, copy, select all this and replicate this, and let's change the image to 4, and let's change the name to this Hannah Smith. Okay, we have 2 images. Let's come down. We'll take another div. It will have a anchor tag with a btn text class, and inside that we're going to write the text read all stories, and this html tag arrow sign, and let's assign a class u center text to make this in the middle, and let's assign a margin top huge. Okay, margin top huge, and this is how it looks. As you can see, everything's looking fine. Okay, so let's come here in the button. So let's come here and let's go inside the button file where we have to design the button. Okay, so let's come down. As you can see here, we have used the btn text which we have already designed in advance in our button class. So I forgot to cover the part when I was designing the elements, so you guys can pause the video and you can simply go to this button file. The file is already provided to you, and from there you can easily able to get the styling of this btn text. So when I was writing the code, somehow the recording got stopped and I moved on. Okay, so simply copy the styling which is already styles, or when you will download the code you will find this code already there. So let's move on. Let's come here in the layout section, sorry, page section. Inside the page, let's go into the home section. Okay, let's simply copy this section, because in the home file we are designing all the section. Okay, all the heights and background colors and width and grip, that's all we are handling in the home file. Okay, so let's first do something about the files. Come all the way down and let's zoom a bit. First assigned position is going to be relative, padding is going to be 15 RAM from top and bottom and 0. Let's add a media query for tab port, and padding will 10 RAM and 0. Okay, let's come here, go into the VG video. Okay, so we are into the video folder where we're going to style the background video. Okay, so let's come here and let's target that BG video, and let's assign position is going to be absolute, top is going to be 0, left is going to be 0, height is going to be 100%, and width is going to be 100%. Z index is going to be -1, opacity is going to be 0.5, overflow is going to be hidden. So let's see what's the problem. Let's come here, let's see in the terminal. So everything's looking great. So as you can see, the video is playing at the background and we are having color on top of that. Okay, so let's come here, let's target the content, and let's assign height 100%, width is going to be 100%, opacity, let's say object fit is going to be cover. Okay, so still we are getting this overflow, not a big deal. Let's come here in the, let's close all the tab, and let's come into the home section. Okay, home section file, let's close that open also. Let's come here in the story css. So here you can see that in this file we having a story section, so that's we're going to design in a different file. Okay, so here we are in the story file, and let's design this element. So let's target the story, so where it is, this one. Okay, width is going to be 75%, and margin is going to be 0 auto, box shadow 0, 3 ram, 6 ram, and RGB, so it's going to be color black, and we have to assign some opacity 0.1. Come down, let's assign a border radius is going to be 3 pixels, padding is going to be 6 ram, padding left is going to be 9 ram, and font size is going to be our default font size. Transform XQX is going to be minus 12 degrees, so we'll have this styling. As you can see on our open, this is how it will look. We'll fix that. Okay, let's add a media query. Tab port, width is going to be 100%, padding is going to be 4 ram, padding left is going to be 7 ram. Let's add a media query for phone. Transform XQX is going to be 0. Let's get the shape, and width is going to be 15 ram, height is going to be 15 ram, float left, transform translate X is going to be minus 3, and XQ is going to be 12 degree. So let's come all the way down. As you can see here we have to, we're going to fix that, and let's assign position is going to be relative, overflow hidden, border radius 15%. So let's come down. So this is how it's looking right now. Okay, let's add a browser support. So here we're going to use clip polygon 0 0, clip path, we want to have circles 50% at 50% and 50%. Let's get the shape outside, and we'll take a circle, and again 50% at 50% at 50%. So this is for the browser, and let's add a border radius, so it will have none initially. So as you can see, this is how it's looking right now, a black circle, but we're going to fix that. Okay, let's add off or, and this one is going to be WebKit circle clip path. Okay, and again polygon, it's Y, and 0 0, and here we have to change also, so Y. Let's come down, we'll fix that. Add a WebKit clip path is going to be circle. For the other browser, same thing we have to do, 50% at 50%, 50%. And here we are forgetting S, so we don't have any error, so all things are looking good. Come down, let's take a media query, and we go to target phone, and transform translate X is going to be minus 3 ram, and XQX is going to be 0. So come down, let's target the image, height is going to be 100%, transform translate X is going to be minus 4 ram, and X scale is going to be 1.4 ram. Background visibility is going to be hidden, transition all 0.5 seconds. So right now we have this circle. Okay, let's come down, let's target the text, and transform QX is going to be 12 degree. Add a media query for the phone, it will have transform SQX is going to be 0 for the mobile device. As you can see, the image is displaying at the back. Okay, it's looking absolutely great. Let's add a target the caption, so it's and position is going to be absolute, top is going to be 50%, left is going to be 50%, transform minus 50% 20%, and color is going to be our color white. Let's scroll all the way down. As you can see, the text right in the middle of the pictures. Now let's target the text transform is going to be upper scale, font size is going to be 1.7 RAM, text align is going to be center, opacity is going to be 0, and transition all 0.5 millisecond. Background visibility is going to be hidden. Scroll all the way down and let's see. As you can see, the text is not displaying. Now let's target on over effect. Let's target the caption. We want opacity 1 and transform translate -5% 50%, sorry, and 50%, so it will come up. Let's scroll all the way down and let's over the mouse. So as you can see, the text is coming up. As you can see, it's working fine. So the moment we are overing the text, is coming up. Okay, let's refresh this, let's come down, and this is absolutely great. So we're getting this nice effect. Let's target other element. On over effect, I want my image transform translate X is going to be -4 RAM, scale is going to be 1. Okay, let's add a filter blur 3 pixels, brightness is going to be 18%, 80%. The moment you over, as you can see, we are getting this blur effect and the image is getting zoom in. So this styling is also working. Let's come here and let's type its RAM. Okay, it's REM. So now everything's looking great. As you can see, this is how it will look on a desktop, a nice, and this is how it will look on a mobile phone. So we are done with the story part successfully. Now let's move to the next one. Let's come to the HTML, and here we're going to target create the other section. Okay, so I'll take a section tag. It will have a section book. Inside that will take a row, and that will take another div with a class of book, and that will take another div with a class of book from, and that will take a form with a class of form, and the action is going to be hash, and that will take a div with a margin bottom medium class, and we'll have some margin from the bottom, and we'll take a h2 tag with a class of heading secondary, and then we're going to type start booking now. So here we have our text with that effect, and that's why we have designed this heading secondary element into our typography section, because all the section heading is going to have the same styling. We are maintaining a consistency, so that's why I keep that styling part in the typography section, which handles only related to typography. Okay, so here we have the style. Let's come out of the div. We'll take another div form group, and that will take a input field. It will have a class from input, and type is going to be text, placeholder is going to be full name, and it will have an ID name, and query is required. Okay, let's come out of that. Let's take a label, and we'll have a from name, and we'll have a class from label, and that will go into type full name. Simply copy this and replicate one more time. So here we have our two input fields. Let's do the changes quickly. So this will call email address, and here we have to change this to email, and here we have to change this to email, and this one is email. Take a div with a form group, and it will have another class u margin bottom medium, and that will take a div form group radio group, and in that it will have a input field with a class of from radio input, and this will call radio, and it will have an ID small, and name is going to be size. take a label, and this will have a for small, and it will have a class form radio label, and it will have a span, and it will as span has also have a class form radio button. And here we have to write our text small tech small group. So here we have our radio button with a label. Simply select this part only and replicate. Simply change this to large, and this will also become large. Okay, and this will call large group. So here we have our two radio button. Let's come down. We'll take another div from group. Inside that we'll take a button. It will have a class btn green. In that we'll type next step and the arrow sign. So here we have our button. So we are done with the HTML part of this book section. Now let's move to the home file where we have to define the layout. So let's open this and let's go to the home file, and here we're going to define our file. Okay, width of the section. So let's simply select this and come here. Let's target that. So padding is going to be 15 rand from top and 0 from left and right. Background going to have this color gray dark 3. Let's add a media query. It will tap port, and padding is going to be 10 RAM and 0 RAM. Let's come here and let's target the book. Background image linear gradient 105 degree RGB, color white, and it will have opacity 0.9 and 0% transparency, and the other color is going to be RGB, and it's going to be color white 0.9 and 50% transparency. Let's add a transparency, so this will have a 50%. So let's format the document and let's get the image. So URL, and let's get into the tech folder, and inside that we're going to pick this one image too. So nothing is taking place. Let's see what's happened here. So we have an error here which is coming from the color. Okay, this dark color. So let's come here, and the problem is in the background color. Let's come in the variable section and let's get that color. So color gray dark 3, and let's simply remove this one and let's save. So right now everything's okay, and here we are getting our background color. Everything's looking good on the mobile phone as well as in the desktop. So this layout is already looking great. Take a background size is going to be 100%, border radius 3 pixels, box shadow 0, 1.5 RAM, 4 RAM, RGB, color black, and alpha value is going to be 0.2 RAM, 0.2 sorry. So this is how it will look on a mobile device. Let's come down, let's add the media query. So respond, tap port, tap land, and background image is going to be linear gradient 105 degree RGB, and the color is going to be white with 0.9 per alpha and 0% transparency, and other color is going to be RGBA, color white, same alpha 65%, and the third one is going to be transparent, and it will have a 65%, and our image which is inside the tech image 2. So this one is for the land tab land. Simply replicate this one more time, and this one is going to be for port. All the styling is going to be the same. Okay, we have to do a changes here in the degree. So it's going to be 2 right. Okay, this will be 100%. Simply remove this transparency. Let's scroll all the way down. So here you can see that This is how it will look on a big screen, and this is how it will look on a mobile device or a tab port. Okay, let's grab the form, and it will have a width is going to be 50%, padding is going to be 6 RAM, and let's add a media query, response tab land, width is going to be 65%. Let's add a for the tab port, and width is going to be 100%. So this is how it will look. We'll have some space or padding from all the sides. As you can see, this is how it look on a big screen, and this is how it will look on a mobile device. So let's come close all the tab, and let's go to the form section. So right now we are into the form file, which is inside the component, and now we're going to style this form. So let's come down, let's target the form. Inside that we'll have a group and not last child. So it will have margin bottom is going to be 2 RAM. So with this selector, what do I mean that I don't want to target the last element of this form. Okay, so this is how I'm selecting that element. So these are some advanced selectors of CSS. Okay, let's target the input, and it will have a font size going to be 1.5 RAM, font family is going to be inherit, and color is going to be our inherit color, padding is going to be 1.5 RAM and 2 RAM, border radius is going to be 2 pixels, background color is going to be RGB, color white, alpha is going to be 0.5, border is going to be none, border bottom is going to be 3 pixels solid transparent, and width is going to be 90%, display is going to be block, transition all 0.3 second, 3 milliseconds. So let's come all the way down. So this is how things are looking. We're going to fix that. Okay, let's come down, let's add a media query. So on tab port we want width is going to be 100%, and on focus outline none, box shadow 0, 1 RAM, 2 RAM and RGB, color black, opacity 1 point, border is going to be bottom 3 pixels solid, color primary. So this is how we'll have a, as you can see, nice box we are getting. Focus invalid, and border bottom is going to be 3 pixels solid, color secondary dark. So the style is not taking me. Okay, as you can see, we're having that color at the bottom. Now let's add a web kit, input, placeholder, and color is going to be gray 2. Let's come out of that, let's target the label. Font size is going to be 1.2 RAM, font width is going to be 700, margin left is going to be 2 RAM, margin top is going to be 7 RAM, 1.7 sorry, display is going to be block, transparent all 0.3 millisecond. So right now we're getting this nice border, all the things are working fine. Let's see in our terminal, is there any problem? Okay, we have some issue, so let's try to find out. And so here we have the problem, it's not percentage and let's reload the server. We have one more error which is in the color, so let's come into the variables and get this color and just replace this one. So right now we have the right name, and as you can see we have no error in our console, so it's dark too. Let's bring it down and let's check once more time. So here everything's working fine. Let's come down and let's get the input and placeholder and show plus, get the label. So opacity is going to be 0 and visibility is going to be hidden, transform trans y is going to be -4 RAM. So as you can see, right now we have that. Let's come down, let's get the radio group, and width is going to be 49%. Display is going to be inline block, and let's add a media query. So this will have a tab port. Width is going to be 100%. Margin bottom is going to be 2 RAM. Let's get down and let's get the radio ratio BTN, and display is going to be none. And let's get the radio label. Font size is going to be our default font size, and cursor is going to be pointer. Position is relative, and padding left is going to be 4.5 RAM. So let's scroll all the way down. So here you can see we have some gap there. Come down, let's get the radio button, and height is going to be 3 RAM. Width is going to be 3 RAM. Border 5 pixels solid, and color primary. Border radius 50%. Display inline block. Position absolute. Left is going to be 0. Top is going to be -0.5 RAM. Let's scroll all the way down. Here you can see we have a circle. Let's come down, let's get the after element, and content is going to be empty. Display block. Height is going to be 1.3 RAM. Width is going to be 1.3 RAM. Border radius is going to be 50%. Position is going to be absolute. Top 50%. Left 50%. Transform translate -50%, -50%. Background color is going to be our color primary. Opacity is going to be 0. Transition opacity 0.2 milliseconds. Let's scroll all the way down. So right now it's not will display. As you can see, if I comment out, we have a nice circle in between the circle. As you can see, we have that circle. So let me comment out. Let's get that. Radio input checked, and radio label, radio button. So this is how I'm selecting that after element. So when someone will click, when this our checkbox get checked, so we want to display that circle, inner circle. Okay, so I will say opacity is going to be 1. So let's comment out this, and let's come here. If I click on this, it will go up. Okay, let's come here, let's click on this box. Okay, as you can see, I'm checking this having a style. Okay, this is working fine. If I scroll, if I click here, we'll have this. Okay, so this is how we have created the custom checkbox. So this will call radio. So right now, as you can see, it's working fine, and we have the click element. So we are done with that form section. Now let's come to that. So this is the first section, and everything's working fine. As you can see, this is how it's looking. We're having this nice over effect. All these stylings are taking place, and this one is also looking fine. We're having this colors, and this color, this colors. This is the button section, and this is the review sections with night over effect, and this is our booking sections. So we are done with this entire section. Now we're going to design the footer, and I did a little bit changes in the code, in the font size, and I forgot to record that. So when you will get the final code, you will have all the stylings, all the codes which I have done, do the changes in the font. So make sure you check that to have the same styling. Okay, so let's come in the HTMLs, and this section is going to be footer section. I'll take a footer tag, and it will have a footer class, and that will take another div with a footer logo box, and that will take a picture element. It will have a class footer logo, and that will take a source, and this is the source that we have to provide. So I will go into my tech file folder. Inside the tech, png1 and 1 pixels, and the other one is going to be image dot logo, a full logo, and to have a search set is going to be tech logo 1 pixels tech and logo 1. So here we have our image. It's broken, but we have to fix that. Let's comment out of this. So right now this is how our image will look. Let's come down and let's get the row, and let's assign a class call one of two, and let's take another div with a navigation, footer navigation, and that we're going to take a ul footer list class, and that will take a li. It will have a footer item, and that will take a anchor tag, and it will have a footer link class. And in this we're going to write company. Simply select this part and replicate 5 times and change the names. Let's do it 4 times. Okay, so here we have our text. So this is how it will look. Let's change the name, contact career privacy policy. Replicate it one more time. This will call terms. Take another div. It will have a call of one of two, and let's take a paragraph. In that it will have a footer copyright class, and that we're going to take our copyright. So build by Daulat Hussain. You guys can use this as for your portfolio, okay, and for commercial purpose as well. Let's assign a class is going to be footer link, and let's add the rest of the text. For feel free to add in your portfolio. Let's assign a class this one as well. So it's also have a footer link class, and let's add the rest of the text. So this is our footer copyrights. Let's comment out of this. So right now it's not working, so here we have to change this to tech, and right now we have our image back. Okay, so we're done with the HTML. Now let's go to the layout section inside the grid, where we have to footer section, and here we're going to do the styling for the footer. Okay, simply grab the footer class. Background color will have a color gray dark 3, and let's assign a padding is going to be 10 RAM, 0 RAM. Font size is going to be 1.4 RAM. Color is going to be color gray dark 1. So right now no changes are taking place. Let's check in the terminal. Yes, we have some problem. So let's come into the variable section, and let's come here, and this is the one which I'm using. Simply select all this, and let's replace this with okay. Right now we are back. Every time I'm writing wrong spelling, okay, that's why we are getting this error. So right now, as you can see, the color is looking fine. Let's take a media query, and on tab port it will have a padding 8 RAM and 0. Let's target the logo box, and text align is going to be center. Margin bottom is going to be 8 RAM. It will have some space from the bottom, and let's add a media query, and on tab port will have a margin bottom would be 6 RAM. So this is how it will look, nice and beautiful. Let's target the logo itself, and it will have a bed of 115 RAM, and height is going to be auto. Let's target the navigation, and border top is going to be 1 pixel solid, and it will have a color gray dark, and padding is going to be 2 RAM. Padding top is going to be 2 RAM, and display inline is going to be block. And let's add a responsive. So tab pod will have a width of 100%, and text align is going to be center. So right now you can see this is how it will look. Let's come down, let's get the list, and list type is going to be none. Let's get the item. So display is going to be inline block. Get the last child, and Margin right is going to be 1.5 RAM. So this is how it will look. Get the link and visited. So color is going to be our gray light 2 and background color is going to be gray dark 3. Text decoration is going to be none. Text transform uppercase. Display inline block. Transition all 0.32 milliseconds. Sorry. So this is how it will look in one row. Let's refresh that all. Let's see, there's no problem in the terminal. And let's target the over effect, over and active. So color is going to be our color white. Box shadow is going to be 0, 1 RAM, 2 RAM, and RGB. Color black, and it will have a alpha is going to be 0.4. So let's remove this part. And transform rotate is going to be 5 degree, and I want to scale it to 1.3. so let's refresh that, and the moment I will over, this is how it will look. We'll get this styling. So let's come here. Okay, this is how it will look on a big screen. We're getting this nice design. So everything's working fine. Let's come down. Let's get the copyright and add a border. Bottom top is going to be 1 RAM solid, and this is color gray dark. Padding is going to be 2 RAM. Width is going to be 8%, and float right would be, let's add a media query for tab port. Width is going to be 100%. Float none. Let's see our console. Nothing's there, but they're very close to each other. And here what we have done is, like, I have assigned margin padding inline to the navigation, footer navigation. As you can see, inline padding inline, so that's why we are having this space. So this one, and we're getting this nice over effect. Everything's working fine. This menu, over effect, this button, these pictures, this elements, this card, and this one, everything is working fine. This background videos and this card section, this one as well, and this form as well. This is the custom form we have added. As you can see, this is the animation. The moment you will type, the placeholder will come down. So everything is working fine. This is how it will look on a desktop. So look beautiful. So all things are working fine. So this is the custom radio button we have. Navigation. Let's come here. Let me give this comment. So now let's write the pop-up. Okay, code for the pop-up. So when we click on this read now, so we want to open a pop-up. So let's write the code for that. That's we're going to do in the bottom. Okay, so let's take a div. It will call pop-up, and we'll have an ID called pop-up. Inside that, we'll take another div with pop-up content, and in that we'll take another div with a pop-up left, and that will take an image tag, and we'll have the image. So inside the tech folder, image 3, and here we have to provide the alt tag tech photo, and it will have a class pop-up. Okay, image. Simply replicate this twice, and you can change the image to 4. So right now here we have 2 images. So let's come out of the div and take another div with the pop-up right section, and it will have a first anchor, pop-up close section, section tour. Okay, and in this we'll take the HTML tag for the cross. In that we'll take a h2 with a heading section, and it will have another class u margin bottom small, and we'll take our text, so learn technology. In that we'll take a h2. It will also have a heading territory with a class of u margin bottom small, and we want to write our text important place. Please read these terms before booking. Let's get the paragraph with a class pop-up text, and that we're going to take some lower and sperm text. So this is how it will look. Okay, simply take one more. Okay, so quite a big text. Okay, we have a huge text. Let's come down. Let's take a anchor tag with a btn green class, and I don't want to redirect anywhere, and this will type read now. So here we have our ready to use button. So we are done with the HTML part. Now let's start designing, and that's we're going to do in our component section, where we have a file by the name pop-up css. Okay, here we're going to write the styling for the pop-up. So let's come down, let's target the pop-up, and it will have a height of 100 vh, and it will have a width of 100%. It will have a position fixed. Top is going to be 0, left is going to be 0. Background color is going to be RGB color black with opacity of 0.8. Z index is going to be 999 on top of everything. Opacity is going to be 0, and visibility is going to be hidden. Transform all 0.3 milliseconds. So right now it's not displaying. Okay, let's make it opacity to 0. So let's try to find out where it is. So let's add a support WebKit backdrop filter, 10 pixels blur. WebKit background filter is going to be blur 10%, and backdrop filter is going to be blur 10 pixels. Background color is going to be RGB color black, and it will have an opacity of 0.3. Let's get the content. So in media app center, to bring it middle, so we have already created a mixing functions that's we're going to use now. Width is going to be 75%, and background color is going to be color white. Box shadow is going to be 0, 2 RAM, 4 RAM, and our RGB is going to be 0.2, and border radius is going to be 3 pixels. Display table overflow hidden. Opacity is going to be 0. Transform translate -50%, and scale is going to be 0.25. Transition all 0.5 second and 2 second. So right now this is how it will look. Okay, small text, but the image is fitting the screen. Right now they're not displaying. Okay, let's get the left. Width is going to be 333%. Display is going to be table cell. Right is going to be, width is going to be 56. Display is going to be table cell. Vertical align is going to be middle. Padding is going to be 3 RAM, 5 RAM. Let's get the image. Display is going to be block. Width is going to be 100%. Text is going to be font size 1.4 RAM, and margin bottom is going to be 4 RAM. Column count is going to be 2, and column gap is going to be 4 RAM. Column rule is going to be 1 pixel solid, and color gray light 2. Hyperness auto So here we are. Get the target, and opacity is going to be 1, visibility is going to be visible, and let's get the target content, and opacity is going to be 1, and transform translate -50%, -50%, and scale is going to be 1. Let's get the close BTN, and so this is the one where, so this is the one. Get that link visited. Color is going to be color gray dark. Absolute position absolute, top is going to be 0, right is going to be 0, font size is going to be 2.5 RAM, text decoration is going to be none, display is going to be inline block, and transition all is going to be 2 millisecond, line height is going to be 1. And let's comment out of this. So right now this is how it will look. So let's come down, let's get the over effect, and color is going to be color primary, we don't have any error. So right now, as you can see, this, if I click, we have this pop-up. If I click on that, close, close, you can see, open, and let's come here, let's try to fix this close BTN. So let's assign a top is going to be 2.5, and this one is also going to be 2.5. If I save, here we are in the middle. So let's click, and it's working fine. So we have created this pop-up without using any JavaScript. Okay, so this one is looking fine. This is the hero section, navigation, all the menu is looking good. This one, this is the button hour, and let's reload this. We have this animations, we have this over effect, this is header, read more, text. If we select, we have this blue color and this blue effect, this animation, this title, and this is the fun card. We have animation and pop-up on that, working fine, and a video background. This is the review section, looking really great, and this is the booking section where we have a custom radio button, and we can type, and we have this smooth, nice animated label down. Okay, and looking fine. This is the logo, and this is the footer navigations, and this is the copyright, and this is how it will look on a mobile device. Let's come up, and this is our logo, navigation. Let's refresh it. The animation is also working, text fine, we're getting this over effect, we're having this smooth animations, and this is how it will look on a card. As you can see, this is how it will look on a desktop. We have a back face, but in mobile phone we have only front face. So this is also a great one. Nice over effect, everything is center aligned, also looking great. This one, this is the form, which is completely different from the desktop, and this is the button, this is the photo, and this is the navigation with nice over effect.